Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdarch.
Nerdarchist Tech.
And it is the end of the week where we like to do our live chat. And my apologies to anyone who got the wrong date from. Where would you have gotten that from? Oh, Facebook. Yes, I put 12 p.m. there instead of 2 p.m. because I'm just so used to typing that every day. So that happened.
And we're using our devices today because there was no Kyle.
Yes, we do not have a Kyle. Hopefully, we do have a video playing. But like right now, I am looking on my device. Are we playing on your device? Yes,
yep,
we are.
We're looking at our things.
Woohoo! Because I have the chat, which let's see, it's up and running.
Doug was the last one to talk on my chat, so
that's what I got too. Okay. All right, but for some reason, I'm not getting video on my device. Ah! Oh, smash!
Break it.
Break your device. Just don't break the sign.
Oh,
it can't take much more heating.
Do not break the sign again. Oh, it is working over here. It's working. Nice. That is awesome. We see you too, Doug. We see you too. So we had another successful week with a bunch of games. Sorry, I did not get a gameplay to go up for this weekend, guys, because of why didn't I do that? Oh, Thursday would have been the day for me to begin rendering videos for the gameplays, and I lost power 3 times. I literally was finishing up my work in the dark Thursday night with my phone tethered to my laptop, like this, trying to type. so that did not happen, unfortunately. Some kid hit a telephone pole down the street from us, and my son was like, "Oh, no jaws of life." I'm like, "Jerk." So in the next one, we're playing Scott's game tonight. So when that game goes up, or when Ted's games goes up, you can give him flack in the comments for being a jerk. And he's a Boy Scout too. That's not very Boy Scout like. So
I blame his parents.
you blame his upbringing. Fair enough. It's probably his mother and father. Damn them.
Or just his mom. Let's blame his mom. She's not here.
Oh no.
This will get back to her.
Somehow
she will rage on you.
It's the internet.
No, how's she ever going to find out? Ted's sister. She'll abuse Ted. I'm emotionally indifferent, so just don't pick up the phone
while she's here.
Yeah. We're gonna see her in a couple of days, man.
You're gonna see her in a couple of hours.
Oh, well,
when she drops David off for Scott's game.
Right, but she won't know by that.
Maybe her mom sensor is tingling. Guys, I have a question about 2nd edition AD&D.
If it's an easy question, we might be able to do it.
So this week we did have a lot of games. One, thank you, Professor Bill, for running Phase Rip for us. That was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that. And I got 110 karma. So I'm gonna be able to power stunt. I think it's 50 to power stunt. And then I'll be able to use something else in order to try and make sure that power stunt actually works.
Nerdarchy games this week. There was you had the game with TV Timmy on Tuesday.
I did.
You had the Scarlet Sisterhood on Wednesday.
True.
You had Phase Rip on Thursday. You had Ether Skies on Friday, and then I ran the fan game last night. So
that's a lot of games.
Five Nerdarchy games, or games involving Nerdarchy, over the last 4 days.
And you guys are playing with Scott's tonight.
And we're playing Scott's game tonight.
Ron Durans, I'm old and losing my hair. I do not have a beard. Can I watch this channel? Old and losing your hair is not a problem, because I think all 3 of us have something going on top, which is sad. But the not beard thing, I don't know. Passes to give out.
Get a cosplay beard.
Oh yeah, there you go. You hook it up, or just an old mop, one of those string mops, just attach it. Matter of fact, if you're going to go with a fake beard, it might as be a horrible one.
Well, the one live chat, someone made a comment about everyone having a beard with Megan, and she took her hair and just did that.
Yeah. Megan is pretty awesome.
She did a silly thing with a bit with a dwarf back in the day. You took your long hair and
Yep.
braided it in the front and had a beard.
Sometimes you just do what you got to do. So also with games, so that the TV Timmy game, or Timmy XX, I don't know. If you scroll through our Facebook, you'll see I share the link all the time. Company and Nag guys, it'll be easy to find it in there. I always share it when I play over there. You guys should check it out. He's a really good GM. But here's the thing: we were short players, and so he didn't want to do. He didn't want to just. I think the rule is the gem can only hold 2 people. The gem is where the players characters go that aren't there, right?
Mhm.
But he only does one at a time. So we did a PvP session where we basically got all whisked away to some demon plane, and we had to fight each other. And we did that up until time ran out, and there were 2 players standing. Orison, Deep Hammer, my sorcerer stone, my stone sorcerer, Hill Dwarf,
Nice.
and Thistle, the forest gnome circle of the land druid. And I was sadly to say, I think she was going to win. Like I had dropped like 3 of the other players,
Nice.
but she had made an alliance with the clerics, so those guys were kind of helping each other. She was able to send out her bears to kind of like absorb damage and you know, get in the way. She had healing, she had wild shape, so she definitely had way more staying power. And I was going to be down the first level spells and cantrips soon. And not only that, like most of her spells are saving throws. So it's not even like, you know, my armor class could have saved you with, you know, shield and mirror image and stuff like that. But it ended before it could end. So it looks like a tie to me.
Like, oh yeah, this is definitely a tie.
Yeah, it was a tie.
Yeah, and Thistle is played by Katie, who's a real badass because she is like a real live Indiana Jones. She's got her doctorate in archaeology, and she does like all kinds of field work and stuff. And
Yeah, that's exactly what that would be.
and she's up in Canada, so she could also be a member of Alpha Fleet. I'm not sure. I love playing with those guys. They're a lot of fun. Their game just happens too late. They should just shift their game to 3 hours earlier. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, he needs his beauty sleep.
I do. I get crotchety. It doesn't take much.
He needs to get up early and make the donuts. The Nerdarchy donuts.
Yeah. Well, I do. I start like 5:45. I try and get up and
Except for Wednesday morning.
yeah, except for because Timmy bones me with that late game. Ugh. And I feel like those 2 hours in the morning are like the most productive hours. After that, hey Georgia. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the game. And what else is going on?
So last week we had over on the live chats, let's give a big thank you to Satine Phoenix, who we had on Monday. Mel from Wayward Leather was on Tuesday. Jeff Mack from Jeff Mack Events was on Wednesday. As you mentioned, Professor Bill had the game on Thursday for Marvel Phase Rip, which I heard that everybody had a lot of fun with that. And then Friday was the Ether Skies game, using the Open Legend system, and it was actually a really awesome session. We went for 2+ hours. Not a single die was touched.
That's not true. Professor Bell rolled 1 die roll.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh,
To try and like influence an NPC with his powers.
I was going to say it wasn't to try and talk to an elder being with his mind again, was it?
Not this time. Not this time.
No, that'll happen again later. So next week or this upcoming week, the authors are going to be in on Monday, or a good percentage of them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't know how many are showing up, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a couple people that are iffy. There's a
Yeah,
couple people that are just out.
and then we'll find out how many actually show up.
Right.
So
So it's a chat with the staff writers from the website. Do we have a direction, or is it just going to be have fun?
I don't know. I think it'd be a good chat actually for the people who are watching to actually ask about the website, suggestions for directions they'd like to see, articles they'd like to see. They could talk about their favorite articles. That's what I was thinking. Like, it's a forum for the website. Like, literally, I have no business in there at all. I'm the guy they call when they're like the page won't load, and then I call GoDaddy and I spend like an hour on the phone going, hey, why isn't this working?
Hey, the page won't load.
Yeah, so pretty much.
So then Tuesday we have Scott Fitzgerald Gray. We're going to get into, the author, RPG editor.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of credits to his name, and he was passed along to us by Ty Johnson. So we're going to have him on, so that'll be cool.
Then we're going to, on Wednesday, have Jen from Pixelscapes. If you've been following along with the Scarlet Sisterhood game, she is the recent new addition to that particular game. So you'll actually get to hang with her twice that day.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And then we're going to finish off the week Thursday and Friday with more continuing games of Marvel Phase Rip and Ether Skies.
Busy week and lots of games going on. We're playing like the most games we've ever played. I don't know. I was kind of inspired. Like I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. I'm like, Professor Bill should run Marvel Phase Rip for us. And then I think I called him out like live on one of the videos. He's like, yeah, I'll do that. So thanks for being in the chat, man. I really appreciate it. We're having fun with the game.
So that's the live chat, thank yous.
Oh, sorry, I got lost a little bit. Yeah, someone was asking about how to do a certain thing, and Professor Bill was helping them out. I mean, I don't know if it ever works for me. Like, it doesn't show up when I type it, so I don't know if it is actually happening or not. Well, like when you like name the person, like I don't know if it shows up in your post to you or if just the other people see it or not.
No, it's usually seen.
So, well, to me, it never looks like it. Yeah, I can't do that. It never works for me for some reason.
So, did we ever get the specifics of what the second edition question was?
No, but I think they asked it again. I think they said again. Any tips on what I have to work with in second edition?
There are lots and lots of books.
Oh, a good racing class kit that has a lot to do with dragons.
Oh, don't ask us. It's been freaking 20 freaking years.
It has been a long time.
I actually haven't, pulled out much of the second edition stuff in a very long time.
Actually, the advice we could give you is go find an Advanced Dungeons & Dragons second edition group and ask them because they're doing what you're doing.
There's a Facebook group for that.
There is. There's all kinds of.
They'll be able to help you out easiest.
Yeah,
if you start Googling that and forums,
there's a Facebook group for every edition of D&D and Pathfinder that's out there. Like there are some purists of D&D. They're like, well, I play third and I don't like 3-5. I'm sticking with 3. So
it's the magic number.
It's a perfect number. Decimals ruin everything. Everybody knows that. Yeah, it's true. And it also is true. We do have a special announcement today. This is actually one of the biggest announcements, I think, Nerdarchy. Well, I think it's even bigger. Well, I don't know.
Is it bigger than the cruise ship cabin giveaway?
Oh, it depends from whose standpoint, right? I think the cabin we gave away was probably bigger for you guys, maybe, but for us,
I think the man's who won.
It was definitely bigger for them.
It was definitely bigger for them, but I don't know.
This is a big deal for us.
For us, this is a big. This is actually probably a game changer for Nerdarchy. It's going to help the channel out tremendously if we can make this happen.
And we're of course going to make them wait.
A little bit. We have some other things to talk about. We just started. King Kick-Ass. Oh, hey guys, I really thought the Dark Sun vid was cool. Thanks for that. Glad you enjoyed it. There's more on the way.
9 more.
Yeah, not to be exact. Well, here's the thing with like the 5th edition needs series. Like we're doing these like 10 things, and then we do the overview for each of those 10 things. But there is definitely some of those things that can be broken down much deeper than we're going. And we might do that. If you guys like those series and you're digging on them, we'll probably delve back into them and dive a little bit deeper. I can see that happening.
Absolutely. We did a fairly in-depth one today on Psionics and the Kalishtar for Eberron. I think that was a pretty good vid.
Yeah, and we are talking, I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but we're talking about doing the Filers and Magic in Dark Sun for Athos too. So those are some things. The one you will definitely see next week because it's already in the canon shot, unless something catastrophic happens. It's happened before.
Yeah.
I mean, like where last week we sat down to record and the mic was turned off?
Yeah, like that. or the time that Ryan shot the Easy Roller Dice vids and forgot to do the piece in front, and then you had like, guys, you're missing something here. It happens. What are you going to do? So we're also going to be announcing the Patreon rewards for next month, right?
Yep. I'll be, got the list here of what's going to be going out. So
what's going out?
What's going out? All right. So our Mage Forge is the Talhund, the Hidden Gift. Our Monster Menagerie is a favorite of mine that I actually created for the LARP that I used to do called the Blitzorn. The Friend or Foe is the Chazzle Dazzle. The Terrible Terrain is the Dance of 1,000 Fairies. And our Lost Lore is the Whimsical Trinket Table. So if you want to get access to those things, you're going to have to sign up before the last day of the month in order to be able to get in on this cycle. So
one of the things too, I want to definitely give a shout out and special thanks to the writers because you guys are awesome. Listen, guys, the writers, I don't know if you guys go over the website or not, but they do a lot of amazing work over there. And what that means for us is we don't have to do that on the website, so we're able to focus on other aspects of Nerdarchy. And one of the reasons why Nerdarchy is beginning to grow even more is because in 2017, pretty much, the website has been handed over to volunteers, guided by Ty Johnson, and then we have a handful of writers that are doing an amazing job over there and helping with a lot of stuff. I mean, we have Nigel Sanford, Megan Miller, Doug Vahovic. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I don't know, man. I can't pronounce anything. But Doug, he's in the chat. Actually, you guys can read it for yourself. Joshua Brinkley's in the chat as well. He's one of our staff writers.
Both Scott's, Garibay, and Becker.
Yes. Is that everybody?
No.
Professor Bell.
Professor Bell. I always forget him.
I remembered you, Professor Bell.
I don't know why. He's like the stepchild of fucking Asbury Park.
Because he has so many different names.
Well, that's what it is. He's got like 17 different names.
Oh, yeah, he's not Professor Bill on the website.
Professor Bill, William C., and Comic Book University.
Yeah, and I bet there's more. And check out Comic Book University if you want to know about comic books and superheroes. That's the place to be.
Absolutely.
And then both Ty and Megan, they have novels they've written and are for sale on Amazon, so you can check those out as well. All of them are really awesome and really great. And also, especially I want to call out Megan and Doug, because whenever I need something done, I go to them and they're like, they have it done before I finish asking them. So they're so awesome. And Ty for running the site, which is a ton of work. From what I understand, there's this author chat somewhere on Facebook, and it's got to be like herding cats or something. From what Ted has told me,
I heard it's a long read. It's a long read.
Yeah,
it gets challenging trying to stay up to date with what it is that they're doing. But literally, the amazing authors that we have, they've put up 13 posts over the last 16 days. I guess 13 posts over the last 6 days. So like that's on average more than 2 posts a day. So that's pretty awesome. And then you're doing the podcast stuff on top of that. So
it's busy over there.
It's a lot. So we're actually looking at how to actually change the format of the website to display the stuff better, so that the amount of content doesn't just drift off into nothingness.
Right. Well, yeah, it's there. There's a lot of it. Go past page 1 for now. That's all I can say. Until we figure out a better theme to put on there.
Use the search feature.
Or you can search by the category.
That's true as well.
Yeah. Doug says coming up on 1,000 articles on the website. So yeah, we've been pretty prolific over there. Soon the website's going to catch you YouTube at this rate.
Yeah, that's true.
But and that's awesome. So again, even if you're not into the website, just know that those guys working over there is a tremendous aid to Nerdarchy, because that's one less thing we have to focus on. So we can focus on the YouTube channel and the other social media. So those guys are superheroes to me.
Absolutely. And as we said earlier with the live chat, if you want to know more about the website or get your feedback about the website heard, the live chat on Monday is going to be the time for that.
I hope Acolyte 14 is being funny, because I know he's on a ton of our chats, and we're always like, "Hey, check the description." So you just added yourself, buddy. We know you're not looking in the description for sure. So I guess you know what? Let's let rip with the announcement now. We're almost to the halfway point. Or no, we will do roll call, and as the roll call is coming in, we're gonna make the announcement. We're gonna tell you guys about it.
All right. So sound off, everybody. Where are you watching from?
Okay, so as some of you guys may or may not know, we had a really cool guest on Monday, and I think she has the record for the longest live chat so far that we've done that's not actually a gameplay. And I feel like we could have kept going, but I felt guilty for keeping Satine on for so long.
On her birthday.
On her birthday, yeah. She still had a lot of work to do. And then we also found out that, she had just quit her job to work on Maze Arcana full time. So super cool. And well, after the chat was over, she's like, "Hey, if you guys were in LA, I would invite you to be on GM Tips." I was like, "Really?" I couldn't. First, I was stunned. That one, they even know who we were, and 2, that they watched our videos, and 3, that she was, that she would even and considering having someone, I mean, that alone was such a huge honor. I was just totally blown away for the rest of the day. So with that, I said, hey, we can get out to LA. We'll figure it out. So we need your help in figuring it out, to be honest with you. The very top link is a GoFundMe. We started a GoFundMe because it's expensive. It's going to be a lot of money to get out there. So we need help doing that. And we went with GoFundMe because even if it doesn't fully fund, we'll get something and it will offset the expenses. I know you guys have heard me cry and bitch about how YouTube, the revenue has dropped down. So we took like a 20% hit there. And, Nerdarchy is my full-time income right now. So Nerdarchy itself does not have enough to actually just send us. So we are definitely going to have to go into pocket and figure that out. And me going into pocket, I make significantly less working at Nerdarchy than I do, road construction significantly.
Right.
I took
probably work more hours. I'm thinking about it.
Well, yeah, I took like a $1,500 a month hit, at least. Sometimes it's even more if there's like 5 weeks in the month. But I believe in Nerdarchy. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. I'm really enjoying doing the live chats every day for you guys. And I think we have something special here, and I want to keep it going.
But it's more than just this. With us being able to jump to the West Coast for this trip, if we go out there, we're going to be able to touch base not only with other people to help Nerdarchy grow, but we have the ability to try and touch base with you guys as well. We'll have the ability to stay possibly longer, set up some live events, maybe connect with say Meltdown Comics and do something. Is that Meltdown Comics?
Yeah.
Maybe do some kind of gameplay there. But it allows us to be able to put us in a place where you guys might happen to be and be able to do some events with you guys.
Kick-ass. We do have a Patreon, but we decided the Patreon we kind of use to fund, our expenses for Nerdarchy and trying to get us full-time, all of us full-time, pay the writers. But we figured GoFundMe was probably a good way to go because it's project specific for us.
It's a one-time expense.
Yeah, right. Your money is going to be used specifically for helping us get out to LA, and then whatever other cool stuff we can kind of build out around that, we will definitely do. Right. If we go over the funding, it's going to go right back in to Nerdarchy.
Right.
Everything we do, we're always trying to up our Nerdarchy game. We're sitting around all these new lights and bookcases, even the chairs and table. This beginning of this year, we bought like $2,500 worth of audio and video equipment. So we're always trying to increase the production value and get better for you guys. And at the same time, we're learning how to do it. So
yeah, and that's been fueled by a lot of the Patreon dollars that come in. So
that's the big announcement.
That is the big announcement. We have to go to the roll call. All right, you want to handle that one this time, Nate?
Sure.
Do the honors.
All right, we've got Doug in Cleveland. We have Light T 14. I totally butchered that. I'm
Acolyte 14.
Acolyte. I guess
it's just spelled weird.
Okay, and from Boston, Scratch Paper Games from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. We've got Daniel T. Beckmund in Norway. He's prepping for a new campaign. Good luck. We have Archangel from Athens, Alabama, not Athens, across the pond.
Greece.
This time, an actual guy from Wales is Paul.
No, okay, Paul. Is that the Paul who gamed with us last night, or is that the different guy from Wales? You're always saying it's a different one.
And Joshua from Oregon. Finally, we have Hot Van Moose from Luzern, Switzerland. We have Kyle from Nevada, and he is here after playing intense fan game last night.
Kyle had some video issues last night. Didn't get to see his happy face. We
have Roy Travis from Helios Cluster, Andromeda Galaxy, local group, Observable Universe. So close to home. We've got Kurt from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And let's see. Comic Book University, OWA Sector 0. I think I pronounced that right. And I think that's it.
Got them all. You got Sue Rainey in Atlanta. We got some more. Prue is in Denmark. Nice.
All right, we got our Denmark.
All right.
I thought I saw another Denmark too as well. Yeah, later on, Professor. Accolade. How the hell does Dave say it right? Dave. Because you know why? Because I can pronounce things that are spelled and pronounced the way they look, but the English language sucks and it should just be fixed and rewritten. Matter of fact, I should just rewrite it and you guys deal with it.
In my game last night, one of the players, Paul, he was in Wales, and he's like, when he watches the live chat, he gets surprised every time he sees that somebody else is in Wales that's watching the Nerdarchy stuff, and he's like, but it's not me. There's two of us here.
There's two. How could this be?
We also have Sue from Atlanta and Prue
from Denmark. Yeah, you're behind.
Oh.
You're behind the times. Mine must be updating faster than yours.
Okay.
Archangel, how do I get into games? I never figured that out yet. You have the newsletter. So in one of the early emails from the newsletter, you should have actually gotten the ability to opt into a second list, and that list is specifically for Gaming with Nerdarchy. That's all we use it for. We call it the Adventurers Guild. If you haven't gotten that and you don't think you're on that list, you can always email nerdarchy@gmail.com, and I will send you the link so you can join, and we'll get you on there. So we pull what we do for the random fan games. For anyone that doesn't know, you sign up for the newsletter, then that gives you an option to sign into the list that put your email on the list that we only use for Gaming with Nerdarchy. So like, even if you say like, I am tired of getting this newsletter, you can always cancel that and you're still on the list for the games. And then as well as our patrons. So we take all those names, we put them in a hat, and we pull out a bunch of them, and then those are the people we try to game with. And if they don't get back to us and they don't get a hold of us by whatever our RSVP date is, then we just go to the patrons and pick people out of there.
And then if that fails, day of, if we're down to the wire, we're getting ready to start the game, we go to the company in the NAG and say, who wants to get on the game now? And that's usually a last ditch effort.
Yeah. Hey, so
that does come up.
Wow, it's online. I don't know if that means that they were in the game with you or not. Hey, so I want to thank you because you're always retweeting and liking our tweets. We really appreciate that. Any of you guys too, really. Whenever you do that, it helps us out a lot. It helps spread the word of Nerdarchy. Whenever you retweet and you hit that like button and you share, it expands the whole Nerdarchy universe. So what else have we got on the agenda?
My game last night was pretty amusing. Malcolm is literally within spitting distance. He's just across the bridge in Philly.
Okay.
Then I had a guy in Florida and Kyle who was off in Nevada. But then I had one guy in Wales and one guy in Australia. So we were literally all around this wonderful globe, all gaming together. And it was like, all right, yeah, there's three of us that are here on the East Coast, but then we've got West Coast and Wales, and I was like, oh, it's getting dark here when a game is starting, and yet it's sunrise over in Australia. It was pretty darn amazing. So
DSDJKK, I know you play your own setting, but how about videos that talk about from certain areas of Forgotten Realms or whatever? The only problem with that is we'd have to actually learn stuff about Forgotten Realms. Like, all of our knowledge would be from novels, right, from reading about stories in the realms. We literally have not. Have you ever played in the realms?
Once, I think.
I played in the realms before.
I did too. I was a teenager.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Dagger Dow, as I played in the Dowland.
Most of my non-novel knowledge would come from the Forgotten Realms video games.
Okay.
Icewind Dale and Neverwinter Nights, that kind of stuff.
You are absolutely right. So, my pleasure. Spread the good news. Am I right? Absolutely. I was just gonna say it and not read it, but then I was like, you know what? The comments, the chat goes away after the video is done. So someone just watching the replay be like, what is he talking about? I feel like Paul Hughes asked a very important question. So I'll kick it to you guys. What is your favorite breed of sheep?
My favorite breed of sheep.
Can you just pick one? I mean, really?
Man,
black sheep all the way.
Is
that a breed?
Couldn't tell you. Is the comedic Skylander sheep an option? Because they're pretty funny.
When you chop sheep up, are they mutton? Trying to remember.
Yes.
Okay, then that. I like mutton. That's my return machine.
So for Nate, it's a dead one. Nate wants to just
A
eat.
dead cooked one. Yeah, because the trolls in The Hobbit,
Yeah.
nothing but mutton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. What if that's all you've got to eat and you want some hobbits?
Yeah. Acolyte 14. I kind of agree with you. Keep with Dark Sun Eberron. Leave Forgotten Realms for others. There's enough Forgotten Realms info out there. Yeah. And plus, too, like, people will ask us to do things all the time, and we kind of not do certain things because, like, if we don't feel passionate about it or we're not into it, sure, like, there's been times like we could go, oh, well, we could do the research and do that topic, because it would be good SEO or it's trending or whatever. But I really don't like to do that. I like to stick to things that that we really are into, and that's why a lot of times, like, hey, why don't you do the do a D&D eyes for this video game character? Well, we don't really play that many video games. Nate plays more than we do, and I don't know that he plays those type of games anyway that are like character driven. So so it doesn't make a lot of sense for us. Like I have talked to Tyrodin a little bit. He's got a pretty decent channel if you're into Overwatch, where they kind of like they do gameplays and they like kind of role play the characters a little bit.
Yeah, he's a great voice acting. I don't
He's
not professionally.
No, he's
but
not a voice actor, but
he does voice acting, as in acting out the voices of the characters.
Yeah, so I've talked about it. I'm trying to get him to come on a live chat, but he's in Australia, so it's a little tough with the time differences.
Might be the Nerdarchy After Dark live chat.
Yeah.
An 8 o'clock game is like 9 o'clock there. So.
Like the next day.
Yeah, 8 o'clock at night is 9 a.m. the next day.
It just requires time travel, a TARDIS, or a DeLorean. I don't know, and you got to be able to do 88 miles an hour.
Just got a time travel.
Right, yeah. So I've been trying to hook something up with him. Now, if I had him on, we would like probably talk D&D and Overwatch, and it would be me asking questions and him talking, and maybe he does the D&D eyes because I feel like he would be an expert.
Marvel X42 would love to see some Spelljammer stuff, and I know a good amount about Spelljammer, and I wrote some stuff for 5th edition for it. So I mean,
well,
I like doing research. So I mean, there's another series I did when I was actually writing for the website. It's a Famous Wizards of Distinction, which I had a lot of fun doing, which was kind of going over all the old wizards and the ones
Out of Luke and Tensor.
Yeah. The guys that have spells named after them.
Literally, there's a ship-to-ship combat for Spelljammer rules down on the website in the links below.
I tried getting Ernest Gygax to come on for the live chats. I was like, and then one of those characters was his. I forget which one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but things didn't line up, and the stars didn't align, so that did not happen. But maybe next time
there'll be many live chats to come.
There will be many live chats to come. Well, there was that that was the other Wales guy. Now I just look like a stereotype. Paul from Wales. You apparently had the other one.
So are both guys from Wales named Paul?
I don't know.
Weird.
I wasn't aware that there was a Paul in Wales. I just know people from Wales show up sometimes. Oh, Navajo Churro is the best breed of sheep. Now you know, guys. Now you know.
Delicious.
Well, I hope you're not a sheep lover. Well, that just came out.
Yeah, let's just stop that conversation now, please.
Where's Ryan when I need him? We could so make this uncomfortable for other people. Scratch paper games. That looks like a question, or maybe it's just a comment.
Anyone have experience running Cyberpunk? Any tips for running one? I've only listened to a few gameplays online. I've not any experience playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's so weird too. Like I think of Cyberpunk and I think of Shadowrun, and then I think of like the older stuff that's so it's not even applicable anymore because some of the technology has literally gone past where Shadowrun is, where other things isn't. You know who could probably tell you a bit about Cyberpunk. I don't think I've seen her in the chat yet, but Megan Miller. She actually writes novels that are like Cyberpunk. Literally, like I think some of her novels are kind of based around their old Shadowrun games, and there was no more Shadowrun going on, so she decided to write novels. Yes. So Megan R. Miller, is how you would find her on Amazon, so you can check out her books, and then you could get some ideas for Cyberpunk.
There you go.
And maybe too, like if you guys, that's the other thing. If you guys request it, you could request certain types of articles and stuff. The writers are always like, "Hey, do you need a certain thing?" Well, if there's a demand for it, we'll just pass it on to those guys. You know, if you have some ideas, you know, if you're a patron, you can message us over a Patreon. You can Facebook message us, email us. Comments are hit and miss because if you put them there, we might see them, we might not. Facebook messages aren't bad, but they tend to get lost.
Best method to reach us is nerdarchy@gmail.com, and just make it subject appropriate.
Well, that's quite the compliment. Hale Deacon says, yes, those books by Megan are a God read. But I'm assuming good read, but God read sounds pretty impressive.
yeah, God read. Yeah, so there you go, Megan. Write some more books.
And have them be God reads.
Yes. Acolyte 14, Shadowrun is cool, sure. I'm just more of a Rift guys. Rift's guy. We have Rift Savage Lands floating around here somewhere, though. That might be our next game we play. I don't know. Then again, we might like kick it to the patrons and let them pick the next Scott Garibay run game.
Well, you know, we're on session 5 or 6 for
5. It's got to be the last
getting
one.
Close, right?
Well, like we haven't hit 10 yet. So like I imagine that, you know, like unless he gives us this big push, you know, we're not going to end it. She's probably going to take this out to 7.
I don't know. I don't see it, man. That seems like a lot of sessions for Scott.
That's out of line for his normal.
Well, it's 357. You know, this is typical. So I don't know. Everything I've done, it's, you know, he's had the Nerdarchy Saves the World was done in 3. The Star Wars was done in 4. The Aeon Olmir game, I think, was done in 5. So who knows?
DSDJKK. Can you change your username to something I can just say?
It's just good.
I like it's written in Alien. Like that's something you walk into the cantina, like that's a name for one of the alien races in there. What do you guys think of Wizards of the Coast going to Cholt next adventure module as a setting? I know you guys don't run modules. Question is, are you asking if you what about them going there, or has that been confirmed? Because I know like there was 2 code names they put out there, and Dust was one of them. That is definitely not the Cholt, I would think, because that would be the opposite of Dust.
Right.
You know, that would be like swamp or wet or something like dank.
Right. I haven't heard any official announcements of, you know, what's coming next. Literally, you know, Tales of the Yawning Portal was the last thing that, you know. I believe the Annihilation stream, which staff writer Doug did a great article on. You can check that out over nerdarchy.com, and it's probably in the link below or in the description below. You can find the link. But I suspect they're going to make some announcements there for different things. I know there was 2 code names, and I just can't remember what they were. One of them was Dust. I know Rudy Rutenberg knew some stuff, but he wasn't spilling the beans. To tell,
yeah. So I'm not sure. Cholt, though, going back to that, Cholt is actually like a jungle, I believe, from Forgotten Realms. So that would probably be pretty cool. We'd probably get some cool stuff out of that. Oh, yeah. I saw the teaser too. The art looked Arabian with dinosaurs as well. And I don't know what that's from. I'm not sure, if, outside of Cholt.
Reminds me of Hollow World, but the chances of them doing that next is not.
Well, it made me think of the Arabian setting.
Al-Qadim.
But I don't know that there was dinosaurs in that.
Yeah,
so.
I don't remember any dinosaurs in Al-Qadim.
Yeah, I don't remember dinosaurs from that.
I don't have a lot of exposure to it, but
don't think any of the Arabian Nights stories had dinosaurs. So,
are you sure? What about when the T-Rex and his monkey companion steal the lamp?
Well, there was a chance that my game last night was in conception phase. I was contemplating going into the dinosaur area of our world because I really want to play with dinosaurs, but I couldn't get my head wrapped around the proper plot.
Oh yeah. Well, was that before you actually told me what it was going to be?
Yeah.
Well, tell them the concept.
All right, I had 3 ideas for what I wanted to do with the fan game. Number 1 And I told this to the players after the game was over, after we stopped being live. I wanted
They were dead.
After the session was no longer live and we were just kind of hanging out online, one of the ideas was that the players in my regular game are kind of off in a demi-plane. So I was like, well, what if I just had a little bit of time dilation? So when they come back, they're going to hear the aftermath of, Griffin Gaff was invaded.
By dinosaurs?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was invaded by like giants and ogres and orcs and all kinds of monstrous humanoids, and they were going to be a part of the main game dealing with the Curse of Narcitus. And I'm like, but I've kind of done that a lot. I want to get away from that. And I was like, well, I really like the whole Lost Jungle situation where we have in the world where we've discussed this is where the dinosaurs are. I really want to do that. I think there's some cool dinosaurs in the monster manual. There's yet even more in the Tome of Beasts. I could have a lot of fun with it, but I couldn't wrap my head around what was the plot. We haven't done too much campaign building in that area of the world yet. So I'm like, that would mean I would have to figure it all out, and then it would become, well, this is what it is. Ted did the work. So I settled on another plot line, but I just was really interested in, getting some dinosaur fights in, because come on, what adventure doesn't want to go fight dinosaurs?
Ted's going to run a game where it's all just dinosaurs fighting each other. You're like, what are we supposed to do? I don't know. I'm fighting dinosaurs. What was it? There was someone, what's his face? DSDJKKK. Halflings riding barbarians.
Halflings riding barbarians.
Someone, I saw you going into the chat.
What someone want?
Someone wanted to know about, let me get back to it so I know. The question is, are you guys fans of Game of Thrones? I've read all the books that are out, and I've seen all the episodes.
I've listened to all the books, and I've seen all the episodes.
So Archangel 1337, would like to see us play a game. And it's actually, there is the Fire and Ice game, role-playing game by Green Road Publishing. It's supposed to be really good and amazing.
I've read the first book. After reading the first one, I have no interest in reading anymore, but I have watched all the shows. Totally dig on the show. I can't get behind Martin's writing style.
You don't like jumping from all the different characters.
So this Paul is the Paul that was in your game, Paul Hughes. The city attack idea was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed the dungeon crawl. And Ted probably hasn't run a dungeon crawl in freaking forever.
It's been a while.
I know I haven't run one in a while. Let's see. Now they're talking to each other, starting up a group. You guys should start up a group. Do that.
Yeah, we've had a number of games and things that have been formulated and planned over on the Company and Ag.
I think that's supposed to be Xbox, but it says Xbone. I play over Xbone.
Well, maybe that's something else.
Well, it could be. Is Nerdarchy Ryan in the chat, or formerly known as Nerdarchy Ryan in the chat? You can weigh in on that one.
Will we still change some mechanics for Sorcerer so they can compare better with Wizard? And if yes, what is your way of doing that with Homeworld or whatever?
I think the Sorcerer's fine as is. Like, after playing one for like a half a dozen sessions now, seeing him in my game.
You only had like 3 combats.
We got some combats going on. And honestly, in those combats, like, he's a beast. So it's not bad. Like, I feel, especially once you start getting up there, I think like the sweet spot is probably like 4th and beyond when you have some sorcery points to play with and
some options.
Magics.
Low level can be tough. I think the game that you ran after Geek Fest, so I guess a year ago at this point in time, when Nerdarchy Kyle and a couple other guys were in it, I felt whatever level that was, I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of options as my sorcerer.
It was probably like 5 or 6 though. I can't imagine I ran a really low level game for you guys.
I want to say it was 3. I think I had 18 hit points.
It could have been.
Yeah.
So it was just
I know how to cleanse your palate. We'll just play an AD&D game, and you can be a first level mage, and you'll be like, "Oh my god!"
I want to be an elf.
You can't even go pew pew because you go pew when you don't have any spells left.
That's it.
As far as sorcerer, if they just go off of basing the Arnoth Arcana sorcerers and the other sorcerers they develop in the book and the books that they bring out off of the power level of the dragon origin sorcerer and the other ones that they come out with storm sorcerer and stuff like that. But if they consider going and saying, well, it's too strong compared to the chaos sorcerer, I feel like the chaos sorcerer is just like
Set it aside.
Set it aside. It doesn't count for trying to figure out how powerful the sorcerer
Well, I
is.
think the chaos sorcerer is a better overall archetype than the berserker barbarian. As far as choices go.
Well, the berserker's horrible. There's guys that argue with me like, you can get a bonus attack, and you can use your bonus attack and make attacks. Yeah.
And if you do it more than once a day, you are literally going to kill yourself.
Yeah, well, there's that.
You will do it until you're dead.
So it's so lame. Like, great weapon fight. The great weapon fighting feat is so much better way to use your bonus action, or fighting with 2 weapons. Like, there's there's probably like 3 or 4 different options you could do.
And it's not very far until you get an extra attack anyway. Right? Barbarians?
What do you mean? 5th level, they get an extra attack.
Exactly. So 2 more levels and you get an extra attack and you don't have to sacrifice a bonus action.
Now they do have the
exhaustion.
Now they do have the retaliation ability that's really cool. I like that, but
that one is good. Yeah.
Like it's better, but you don't get it till 14th level. So like your abilities before then are kind of lame. I don't know. You guys can argue with me in the chat.
See, they will have their torches and pitchforks.
Joshua, I like the chaos for RP elements as well. I just don't want them to try and calculate the next sorcerer builds, the next sorcerer origins based off of thinking about them in context with.
But they're not, because we've seen so many sorcerer origins come out at this point. Like 5. There's got to be like 5 or 6 of them, right?
I think they're pretty much all good.
And they've pretty much seemed to learn from the ones, and like the dragon one's fine.
I think so.
Yeah. Your first level ability of an extra hit point, and the armor class is really good. That's a great option, and something as they go up higher is not bad at all. It's a little front loaded, I think, but other than that, it's good.
And it has the kind of paladin issue with you might end up blowing all of your power like earlier. Like if you have a long drawn out day where you're having several encounters, it's probably tough to pace yourself.
The sorcerer is the arcane sprinter, and your wizard is the marathon runner.
Yes.
So this is not bad. Someone had asked, I don't know if that was True Mate. Let's see. They asked about a 5e summoner. Who were you? Yes, it was True Mate. Have you thought about making a custom summoner class for D&D 5e? I don't think you need a class. I could see us use. I could use about 3 summoner archetypes: Druid, Wizard, and Cleric. Maybe not Sorcerer, because I feel while it might be cool, but I feel like the Sorcerer Origins would not speak to a summoner type.
That's true.
Archetype.
Because of the way it's done, it's more about bloodlines.
Yeah.
What kind of a bloodline do you have that makes you a summoner?
My daddy was a summoner. And my mommy was a summonee. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely dig on any of those, and you could technically flavor your cleric one. You could kind of go with like undead fiends or angelics.
Yeah, celestials. And you could probably base the powers off of the buffs that the necromancer gets, because it's like more hit points, more damage, and more attack power. So just take the necromancer buffs, make it not undead, make it whatever they're summoning.
Yeah, you could do that, or maybe you have access to higher CRs or something like that. More options within the summoning, or lower CRs, as the case may be. Because I feel like with some of the summoning spells, there's like a breakdown where it feels like there could be options there, but they're not.
Right.
But giving it to a summoning archetype would kind of fix that.
Yes.
And I think there's kind of like a cap on where you can go with the CRs.
Oh, there probably is.
So I think
to my knowledge, it's 5 with summon elemental.
Yeah, so maybe that could go up as you become a more as
So
your feature.
You could summon things that are smaller and summon things that are bigger.
Yes.
So I think that would be pretty awesome.
Because I want my proper amount of flying snakes when I summon them. Not this rip-off amount that they give you.
It's like, oh, well, you used a higher level spell, but it doesn't matter. You're capped off at 8 or 16, whichever it is.
I don't recall. I just know that I'm getting ripped off.
No, absolutely. Dave was frozen in the comments.
Yeah, I'm just checking to see what's going on, man. You guys are doing your thing.
Yeah.
Talking.
So that's what I would do. Is the way I would do a summoner. Give them access to the summoning powers of whatever type they are, as well as give them the figure out how to shove in the buffs and things for it.
Sorry, guys. I'm just
No, it's okay.
scrolling around here.
So I guess we're done our list thing. So we don't have anything to give away. We don't have any announcements like that.
We announced, our thank yous to.
Oh, here's the question, Alex McCoolin. I don't know if this is the right place for it or not. Excuse me. That's fine. I would like to know how you guys handle Counterspell in 5e. Do you tell your players the level of the spell the NPC is casting? So it has not come up that often, although we do Counterspell and stuff like that. What I would do as the GM is I would say if the player says I'm counterspelling and I go, hey, you're going to need to make a caster check, and they go, hey, can I cast it at a higher level spell? I would say make an Arcana check and be like, okay, let's see if you recognize the spell that's being cast, and be like, oh, it's stronger than your counterspell, so you're going to have to pour more energy into it.
And I would just say if somebody really wanted to try and figure out, I would literally set the DC at 10 plus a spell level.
Yeah, it's pretty easy that way. Yeah,
I wouldn't even say it's that difficult to determine when someone's casting a spell, because literally, if it's like, oh, I do this, all right, well, that's a cantrip. Well, maybe it's a little bit more complicated to do a level 1 spell and so on and so forth. So if somebody decides that they want to be a counterspelling type of caster, then by all means, develop the system, make it easy and smooth. As a player, I haven't played a wizard to get into that kind of stuff. As a DM, I've counterspelled stuff that the players are doing. But then it's usually, oh, I'm casting such and such. Well, the moment you decide you're going to cast, this guy is going through the motions. And it's just a way of, okay, well, you've done it to me, so I'm doing it to you.
So there's a whole thing going on. DSDJKK wanted to know what the announcement was that he missed it, and then everyone chimed in. Yes, Satine invited us to be on GM Tips, Geek and Sundry, and DSDJKK. Oh, sad face, stay small, Nerdarchy. Stay small and broke until we stop doing Nerdarchy. That's what you just asked us to do. Because literally, if I can't feed my kids and I can't justify spending time away from my wife and my family, Nerdarchy goes away for all of us. That's just the way it is, guys. If you love Nerdarchy, if you like what we do, we have to keep growing, and we need your guys' support. If you can come up with a model for us where we stay small and
make money
and still can feed our kids, then sure, we'd be more than happy to do that. But like what you just said is you just flipped the bird to my wife and my kids. Really, you're like, I don't care if your kids can't eat. I don't care if you don't care if your wife's unhappy because you're doing all this Nerdarchy stuff. Really, you have to think about what you're typing before you type it and what you're asking of us. We pour a lot of hard work into Nerdarchy, so we want it to be super successful. We want it to be big, and we want it to be as good as possible for you guys, the fans.
So we right now, we started off 2017 with a goal of getting to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think that, our numbers as we've climbed, we've started to get less and less each month as opposed to more and more each month. So we aren't on track to be able to hit 50K by the end of the year in subscribers. Well, Dave and I were talking off camera while we're setting stuff up for this. And it's like, well, if we get on GM Tips, we've got a big chance of actually, climbing fast towards that goal. So, if you guys, share our stuff and get people to, subscribe to our channel and get us closer to that goal, I would take it as a kindness.
Yeah, listen, I do miss the days when we were a little bit smaller and, you know, if you, I believe you've been around for a while, and you probably know, and those that have been around for a while definitely know. I used to comment almost every single comment. I used to respond to them, and now it's
thank you.
but now you know there's so many of them. I get a little overwhelmed when I even look. You know, we're literally, and we put out a lot more content now. So I don't get in there as often as I used to. I try to spend at least a little bit of time each day, you know, hitting some replying to some combats. Yes, combats. I replied to combat. Now only trial by combat. No, I try to get in there and I try to reply to some here and there. It might be only like 5 or 6 a day or whatever. But we're also doing a lot more work. Like even you may see us do something and it doesn't look like it's that much, but those daily live chats. Like I could spend, you know, 2 to 4 hours a week just lining up guests. You know, it may take me from 11:30 to 1:30 on that day, just around that one live chat. So they're time consuming. I enjoy doing them. They're fun. You know, I love the fact that you get in the chat more often and talk to you guys.
Actually, 11:30 to 1:30 is the low average because it's usually you gotta set up the event, share the event, get into the event, make sure that all the guests are on board that are going to be there for the day, you know, pre-game. Okay. You know, what kind of direction, this and that and the other thing, get into the chat, do the whole chat. After the chat's over, it's not typically just, okay, you know, we're done. Goodbye. There's some hangout and some things that are done afterwards. And, you know, it's not a simple cut and dry. This is an hour of my time.
Which, it goes with the territory, but they're fun. I enjoy doing it. But yeah. It's work. Even like a 5-10 minute video, guys, you look at that and go, oh, you know, they did, you know, video, it's 5-10 minutes. But like then it's a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes to edit and render that video. You know, the more we do to it, the more time it takes. So you have to watch through at least one time, and then uploading, tagging, and title. And then there's all the stuff we do just to make sure people actually find us and see the stuff that we're doing. You know, it's just one of those things. There's always a lot more work to it than it kind of looks like.
And that has nothing to do with the time it takes to come up with a playlist, and then, you know, what is the record list, as well as, okay, what is the order that they're going to actually go up, and, you know, what's relevant. You know, got to keep looking for new ideas and reading emails and going through suggestions, and not simple.
Many hours of the week go by. Many hours of the week, and
we love it, as Dave says. You know, I mean, I'm you know, super happy to be a part of, you know, not just this community, but that community. Yeah, and you know, I commented to the players in my game last night that, like, I thought it was just awesome that we were literally gaming with people all around the world, and it only happened because, you know, we did this thing called Nerdarchy. Now, yeah, there's other ways of connecting with gamers around the world, but I don't think I would have felt a desire to do so had I not, you know, accepted Dave's invitation to join Nerdarchy in our infantile stages of it. It was something that I enjoy, that I had no idea that I would enjoy until this happened.
Oops. It is a lot of fun. A couple of folks just asked specific questions in the chat. The best place, send those questions to nerdarchy@gmail.com, and we can address them over there. It is a lot easier, and not like they weren't gaming questions necessarily. One of them was from Mark Angel, and the other one was from Scratch Paper Games. So you guys just email me, and we can talk about that stuff. So Truemate, seeing you guys on GM Tips sounds fantastic. Great show. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm super excited and nervous at the same time. Even though we've shot, by the time we're there, we will have shot in over 2,000 videos. I'm still kind of nervous.
Well, you're nervous because, you know, it's not going to be here where, like, while this is the Nerdarchy corner of the North.
It's just gonna be a video of me looking stupid.
It's like, all right, this is still Ted's basement, whereas, you know, flying out to an actual set, and, you know, there's gonna be, you know, camera guy, mic guy, light guy, makeup person, you know, like there's all this stuff that's, you know, like, all right.
Oh my God,
we don't have this.
I didn't even think about a makeup person. I'm getting overwhelmed already.
Yeah, this is not helping me calm down.
Yeah, Sue Rainey. I would love to see you on GM Tips with amazing Satine That was a really good live chat, Dave. Thank you very much. I felt like a dick a little bit after I had gone through it and realized I did not go into the chat all that much. But it was just so easy to talk to Satine, and she just kept going, and it was just a lot of fun. And again, I can't believe how long it was. And those guys are going to be back on again. Both her and Rudy want to come on. I'm probably going to have them on together. And it was so cool, too, for them to have Ivan and Rudy there in the background. That was a ton of fun.
So we are closing in our close time.
All right, we're actually past our close time, but we started a couple minutes late.
Right, yeah, that's why I said, we're closing in on it. I mean, we don't be like, all right, tick down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we don't need to do it like that.
Let's see, Archangel, don't be nervous on GNS had Vin Diesel, but you have Ted. That's like having an army. You have a Hulk.
Am I the Hulk or is he the Hulk?
You are.
I'm not the Hulk.
You're the Hulk.
I'm like Hawkeye. I'm the guy off to the side without superpowers.
Oh yeah, Doug's talking about the first videos we did. That's so long ago. When we look back at that stuff, it's so horrible.
There's literally videos that we did 3.5 years ago that have less views than the gameplay I did last night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's not too many, but yeah.
And that's okay.
No,
because some of those videos
well,
are bad.
the third, is my first thing that I recorded for Nerdarchy was a rant on Star Wars, Boba Fett, and Darth Maul. And because of how long it was, we broke it up into 3 sections. And the third one, the last time I checked, it had under 300 views.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow. And then I literally looked at when I was prepping the list that is down in the description below with all the links. I looked at that my gameplay, which usually gets less views than our regular stuff. It was already almost 400 views, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
We've grown. Yeah. So who asked? Oh, no, not Steve Wooderman. Thank you for watching the old videos. We appreciate that. Paul Turner, when Satine says GM us out, who will do that? That would make me nervous. So it's going to be me and Ted on the show, I believe. She says she's got room for 2 of us. And Nate is going to have a newborn in July. So we'll see where that puts him. But I don't know. And actually, I felt a little bit bad at first. I was like, that's a great idea, because there was a lot of people in the live chat when I had Satine on. It's like, you should make her GM out. Make her GM out. But like her stuff is like a combination probably of ad-lib and scripting. So I don't know, like in hindsight, when I thought about it, like, I don't know that I would really want to do that to somebody and put them on the spot,
right?
And just say, all right, now you're going to do ad lib live, and at least on the GM tips thing, that's recorded. It's not even live. So if there's flubs, there can be do-overs. It might even be a written script or a loosely bulleted point script. I have no idea. And to me, it feels a little bit like a dick move to surprise somebody with that and just be like, hey, live, there's bunch of people watching. GM us out now.
So like it could literally be a situation where like if that's something that you guys really want and we talk to Satine for a later live chat, like we could tell her in advance, hey, would you be interested in doing this? Like we could set that kind of thing up.
They say Archangel says, I know Vin has nothing on Ted. Hashtag Ted crush puny actors. Oh my God, that's great. That's perfect. I think that is the note we leave on.
Oh my God.
Hashtag Ted crush puny actors. That would be great if you guys could get that going viral. That would be absolutely amazing.
Until Vin knocks down my door and gets the son out of me.
I heard his parents live down the street from us. I don't know if it's true, not confirmed, but that's the rumor. Someone told me that the church that their parents go to is the same church that Vin Diesel's parents go to. I don't know if it's true or not. Hey guys, if you can't support us on GoFundMe, that's fine, but we would really appreciate if you just shared it around, get it out there. That would help us out a lot. So with that, until next time, stay nerdy. I feel like we need some sad Hulk music for when I walk off the scene. They click the button when we don't have intern Kyle.